Welcome back everybody, Matt in the back here, hope you're doing well. Once again, before we get started, subscribe to the channel. Hit the subscribe button near the bottom of this page of this video, near the title of the video, and let's get started. Shazam! That's right, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, the sequel to the original 2019 film, Shazam. He's back, and let's get going. I'm a huge fan of the original. That is a movie that truly came out of nowhere. I didn't have any hopes for the movie at all. It looked a little goofy, a little weird, a little more kid-friendly, especially for the DCU. And I have to tell you, I fell in love with that movie. It's my second favorite DCU movie, outside of Man of Steel. The movie had a lot of charm, a lot of heart, a lot of fun, lightheartedness, but also some dark moments in it too. And it's a real crowd pleaser. I mean, when people say, oh, the DCU is so dark, and I say, did you see Shazam? And they go, no. And I go, well, I don't know what to tell you. And like I said, it's been 4 years already. I can't believe it's already been this April will be exactly the 4-year anniversary of the original Shazam movie. Came out in April 2019. People remember, that was a great month. You had Shazam at the beginning of that month, and at the end of that month we had Avengers Endgame. I mean, it was like boom, boom. Both awesome movies. But here we are 4 years later, and let's get into Shazam 2. Fury of the Gods. Zachary Levi continues to nail the role of Shazam. His energy, his charisma, his charm, his humor. It works for the character of Shazam. He's great with his other cast members. He's great sparring, going back and forth with Helen Mirren, Lucy Liu. Him and Jack Dylan Grazer once again continue to have that buddy duo that worked so well in the first movie. Now, one thing in Zachary Levi, I can see him play this role for years to come. Hey, DC, don't get rid of Zachary Levi Shazam. Next we have Jack Dylan Grazer. Freddie Freeman is his character's name. Once again, Jack Dylan Grazer stole the show almost in the first Shazam. He was great. You know, just coming off of It Chapter 1. And once again, and I will say in Shazam 2, he gets probably almost more, about the same or almost more screen time than Zachary Levi. But Jack Dylan Grazer is the MVP of this movie. This movie really does rest more on his shoulders than on Zachary Levi's. And he nails it out of the park. I mean, like I said, even being 4 years later, he's gotten a little bit older, just like everyone in the movie has. And he is so funny. He's funny. He's emotional at times. He has great chemistry with a new female character in this movie. A little romance. And I'm like, dude, you are awesome. I'm telling you, people, if they don't make any more Shazam movies, DC really should consider Jack Dylan Grazer for, like, Robin. He would make a great Dick Grayson. He would. Or, you know what? Shazam, no more. They're making a Fantastic Four movie over there at Marvel. Johnny Storm. He would be perfect. Now, Jack Dylan Grazer steals the show in this movie. Then we got, when Jack Dylan Grazer gets the human form of Freddie Freeman, but then he Shazams into more of the adult version. And I want to... Adam Brody has a lot more screen time in this movie than in the last one as the adult Freddie Freeman. And, man, my boy, Seth Ezekiel Cohen. Oh, Cohen. Man, the boy and the OC who love comic books, love superheroes. People, you don't understand. Back in the early 2000s, before even Batman Begins, George Miller was going to direct the Justice League movie. Joe Manganiello was going to be Superman, and Adam Brody was cast as the Flash. They were in pre-production, and then the very, very last minute, they halted everything and canceled that film. Right before Batman Begins came out. And man, Adam Brody, what he would have been like as Barry Allen in the same time as the OC would have been perfect. That weird, awkward, mentality and, just awkward like the Flash is, like Barry Allen is supposed to be. Oh man, I was thinking have Adam Brody be the Flash instead of Ezra Miller. But hey, whatever. But Adam Brody in here getting to be the adult Freddy is another highlight. He's awesome in the suit, the look. I'm like, dude, you got your wish. They got to make a wish. He got to make his wish. I want to be a superhero. Seth Cohen wants to be a superhero. He finally got to be a superhero. And like I said, he's great in the movie. I actually wish they had more of him. Actually, I wish they made a spin-off movie of Jack Nolan Razor and Adam Brody. I would kill to see that movie. They're both great in the movie. And not only that, but Adam Brody and Jack Nolan Razor look so much alike that you 100% buy that Jack Nolan Razor will grow up and look like Adam Brody. They look that similar. Awesome. Megan Good, who plays the adult Darla when she Shazams. Unlike Zachary Levi and Asher Angel, who plays Billy Batson, the kid who becomes Zachary Levi Shazam, they're from teenager to adult, they don't jive. They don't jive. Unlike Jack Nolan Razor and Adam Brody, or even Megan Good, who plays the adult Darla, to the younger girl who plays Darla. Megan Good nails the personality, the attitude, and the age that she is supposed to be. Because once again, if people don't know, Billy Batson is a teenager, who gets superpowers and Shazam, and becomes an adult superhero, but still has the mentality and the mind of a teenager. Think of the Tom Hanks movie, Big, where he's a kid, but he makes a wish, and he becomes an adult, but he still has the mentality of a kid, the maturity of a kid, the intellect of a kid. Just like the other movie, 13 Going on 30, with Jennifer Garner. She's a 13-year-old in the mind, but in the body of a 30-year-old. That's Shazam. And Megan Good 100% nails that. And I thought she did a great job. The humor. The movie, just like the original, has a lot of humor. This is more lighthearted, fun. Something you don't normally get in the DCU. But guess what? In the Shazam movies, you do. I was laughing throughout the entire film. I enjoyed it. I need a good laugh once in a while. Haha. Rachel Zegler. You play Anne. Some of you probably aren't 100% familiar with this young actress. She starred in the remake of West Side Story in 2021 for Steven Spielberg. And I liked her in this. She has charm, personality. She handled the serious moments. She had a great romantic relationship chemistry with Jack Nolan Razor. And guess what, people? Just like with Jenna Ortega, just like with Sydney Sweeney, keep an eye out for Rachel Zegler, because we're going to see her in the new Hunger Games movie coming out in November of this year. And then, next year, she's playing the live-action version of Snow White for Disney. So, we're going to be seeing a lot of Rachel Zegler. And if Hunger Games and Snow White nail it out of the park, she's going to become the new it actress. The new actress everyone's going to be talking about. The action. This movie has a lot of action. This movie goes heavy on the action. From the opening of the movie till the end. There's an opening with all the Shazam family on a bridge. Really fun. Also, the third act is also another action highlight in the film. So there's a lot of action in this movie. There's a great pace to it. For over 2 hours and 10 minutes, it flew by. I think, like I said, there's a lot more action in this film. And that's a good thing, but then I'm going to get into the negatives of why it's not a good thing. But in terms of pacing, it moves. Visuals. I think the visual look of this movie, especially in the third act, is very good. The creature design that the director David F. Sandberg brings to this one. You had the monstrous creatures in the first movie, but I think he does a better job with the visual look in this film than in that one. Getting into the negatives. This movie had needed more of a balance. The Shazam family is a lot more present in this film, which I didn't mind because we got very little of them in the first movie, up only in the third act, final climax of that film. This one we see a lot more of the Shazam family, and I liked it because I liked Adam Brody, I liked Megan Good, I liked Zachary Levi, I even like Grace Fulton Curry, who plays Mary Marvel, Mary. She was also in the first one. But you don't get as much of the kids in this movie. And that's the thing about the Shazam. It's about these kids that are learning how to be superheroes, but also dealing with being foster kids, living in a foster home. And that's what made the first movie have so much heart. That's why it felt different from other superhero movies. It wasn't just the, teenagers or kids in adult bodies, but still having the mind of a kid. But it was also that heart, that real heart of the parents, and of just the bleeding heart of that film. And in this one, we get very little of the kids. And even the main character, Billy Batson, played by Asher Angel, who becomes Zachary Levi, he's barely in this movie. And I'm like, and the problem with that for me was we get very little character development. We get very little, dilemma, subplot of, okay, we gotta get from A to B by the end of the movie. There's no dilemmas with these characters. The first one there was a lot more conflict. This one there's really no conflict with the kids. And they bring up stuff. With one kid, they bring up one thing. Another, Mary, the female, they bring up a little thing with her. They bring up a little thing with Millie Matson. But they really don't develop it at all. And some of them, they just completely forget about it once the action really kicks in. And I thought that was a major problem. Because as much as I like to see the Marvel family and Zachary Levi, the thing that worked in the first one was that the teenager and child portion of the film. This one, there's no balance. I was hoping for more of a balance of half the time you're going to be dealing with the kids and with their dilemma, their struggle, their conflict, and the other half you're going to deal with the Marvel family. The villains are weak. You got Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, and I can tell you one thing, this seemed like more of just a paycheck. Yeah, they really don't, they wear costumes and, you know, but in terms of like, overall, like, characters, no. If I had more time with the foster parents, they were too such a big part of that first movie. And this one, I think they maybe had 3 scenes in the entire film, and they were small scenes, and I'm like, why? You need them more than anything. They're the heart and soul of these foster kids. And the parents. So I really miss that too. Like, why are we just focusing on the adult Marvel family? Overall, I did enjoy the movie. It's fun. It has action. Zachary Levi still does a great job. Megan Good is great. Adam Brody's great. Jack doing greater than MVP. Rachel Zegler, the only new character that actually does something in this movie. And actually really acts. I feel like she's actually acting in this film. And I at least give it a 4 out of 5. I don't think it's as good as the original. I think it's definitely a couple steps down. And I really like that first one. I think the first one was my second favorite DCU film. So it is definitely a few notches down. But a nice 4 out of 5. Did you see Shazam Fury of the Gods? And if so, what did you think? Let me know in the comments below. Matt the Matt here.